What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Thank you so much for your patience. Sorry we started a little late, had some TriCaster issues, but we are now in business. Happy August 12th to you. It's Monday morning, and I'm ready to make some cash. We have only 9 games, including a doubleheader, where we're not going to talk about the second half of the doubleheader on this show. So really 8 games to focus on, and we've done an excellent job in this situation. On Friday, I went 3-3, and then I hit with the Mets on Saturday, and that was the only baseball I hammered. We'll do a quick overview of WNBA, CFL, MLB, and NFL preseason. I made up for that 2-4 opening with a 4-2 Saturday, Sunday. Actually, an 0-1 Saturday. An 0-1 Friday and a 4-1 Saturday. Too easy with the Raiders and the Niners and the under and the Niners. But thank you guys so much for your patience. I'm pumped and ready to get to work. The last week of shooting in Costa Rica. Next week, we're in Miami, baby. Shout out to Vinny Cornell, Rockstar, Larry Edwards, Walla Walla Dose, Adrian Bird, Josh Poino, Chapman LeBaron, Mr. Spectacular, Canadian Capper, 72, at Young Chillionaire, Neo Money, Nut Flush Allen, who will be in Miami, Tomarino Tomor, Morel Barry says, anyone have an angle on that Yankees game 1? That will be the first game we talk about. Noah Paxton, Tomarino Tomor, Joe Rich Ramirez, Captain 24/7, Steven Mendez, Walla Walla Dose, Russell Gordy, Deer, Slayer, Ski, Guillermo, my guy Guillermo, man, I got fucking eaten up by Saratoga on Saturday. 2 weeks in a row, I got eaten up by him, and disappointing, just angry, and the final numbers are they're being done right now for the Beat the Bag contest. Sadly, our Big Ragu did not win the overall standings. I was cheering for him. Canadian Capper was right there as well. Pink Eye Genie in the house. Not only does this man cap, but he spreads pink eye awareness. Ricky Bobby, Poppy Longwood, 69, Joshua Madfee, Yellow Jesus, blessing all our picks. Laniel still in Vegas. That's dope, man. Doesn't leave till 7:29 at night. Damn, that's just but you can cash out. Oh, I guess you can. It's going to be tricky. Bookie Lover Q, Ricky Bobby, Mal, Melvin Batanzas, Serious Business, Guru Sports Bets, Aaron, maybe a Neil Frank, Brooke Jordan, Joey Evangelist. Man, did I put it in my bookies? Gooch, $1,800 profit this week. Let's go. Attaboy, Joey Evang. Love seeing that. Daryl Lyles, Ron Crawford, Drew, Daddy, Dom, Reachy says I'm already on the Nats -110. That's going to be a copy and paster. Copy that right there. Jim Rummy saying Indians open at -105. It's +106. Now it looks good. Okay, let me just copy and paste a couple of these notes, and then let's start breaking down these. There's Dark Kent in the house. Dark Kent will be hanging with us in Miami. Dark Kent, did everything get settled with the hotel? Please let me know if everything got settled with the hotel. Jungle Boy 223, Christopher Smith, Ty Clinton, Extreme Picks, Carlos Thomas. There's Shadow in the house. Another monster weekend for Shadow. Love seeing that. And Shadow, that over in BC was pretty just given to us, and the voided Saskatchewan bet is fine, so not bad. Mr. Spectacular says -300 odds. Jimmy's hungover. No, I'm pretty good. I went hard Friday and I've been pretty sound. There's Mr. Jocelyn. Okay, let's get to work. Nose guard, 1208 in the house. Joe Rich Ramirez, Spencer Hicks, Doug Barnhouse, Vaughn Burgess. Nice to see Vaughn Burgess again. All right, let's get to work. First off, MLB on Friday and Saturday. On Friday, it was a bad start. I lost with that Angels Red Sox under 12 at -102. I lost with the Royals first 5 -1/2 at -125. I lost with the KC Detroit over 10 at -105. And then hit with the Braves at -1. Hit with the Phillies San Francisco first 5 over 4.5. Hit with the Phillies team total over 4.5. That was a play pushed on us by Donnie Rightside. And then on Saturday with Syndergaard, hit with the Mets -131. And then in WNBA, I lost that bet with the Aces. That was probably not enough. I was a little overwhelmed on Friday. I probably didn't do enough work leading up to that. NFL preseason, as I said, I went 4-1 on Saturday, get me at 6-6 on the NFL season, and then CFL 1-0. So overall, it's okay, but just that mediocrity does bother me. Let's pop up that MLB record, and then let's get right to work, Rafa. And there's Ron Crawford's spreadsheet plays. And Mr. Johnson said, rough Saturday, but solid Sunday plus money on the week. Let's get it again this week, Jimmy. Let's go. And there's, a lot of mediocrity all year, which is better than it was last year, but I want more. There's Repulate Gaming, a week away from hanging with our guy Repulate Gaming. Okay, let's get to work right now, and I love these small cards where we can hammer. We're going to start with Game 1, Orioles at Yankees. Let's take a quick look at the odds, the market moves. And, okay, let's just stay focused. Let's stay focused. Guru's saying, how about that Orioles game? Yeah. Oh, and Dark Kent, yes, I'm good with the Odell. Perfect. So you got the rate and the no resort fee and internet. Love it. Coco Bongo says, what an ugly card. Let's put lipstick on this pig. Enoa Paxton opens at 10.5 now at 11. Bookmaker moved it to 11.5 and just right now moved it back to 11. The Yankees open up at minus 330. They're up to minus 347. A 17-cent move towards the Yankees. Let's break it down. 84 Fahrenheit, clear 9 miles per hour, out to straightaway sender. Enoa, 1-6, 5.57 ERA, 1.39 whip, 76 innings, 47 Ks, 21 whips, 15 homers. His problem is he just can't get that strikeout when he needs it, and he's better. So far this year, he's been much better coming out of the bullpen than he has been starting. Then we have James Paxton, who may have turned his season around over his last couple starts. The Yankees need him desperately if they want to make noise all the way into the World Series. Paxton, 7-6, 4.40 ERA, 1.43 whip, 102 and a third, 130 Ks, 39 walks, 19 homers. Okay, so we know a couple things right now. There's my guy EJ McClellan in the house. Mally Mal says Yanks and under or pass. We know that Russell Gordy loves these unders on these morning games. Let's take a look and see if we have lineups up yet. Quickly here, I forgot that didn't have this up. Here we go. MLB lineups. And we do. We have confirmed lineups for the Orioles. Alberto, Mancini, Santander, Nunez, Villar, Severino, Peterson, Wilkerson, Martin. For the Yankees, Gardner, Urshela, Gregoria, Sanchez, Torres, Tauchman, Maben, Ford, and Valera. Lamont Williams on Yankees money line, but Lamont, the only way to use that is in some sort of a parlay. There's just too much juice. A. Haley says Orioles due for a letdown after yesterday's big upset. Have the Yankees bats finally gone quiet? Deerslayer Ski says Yankees first 5 maybe to play. Bats should wake up today. Laniel says Paxton is the weakest link. Smith and West 93. Man, oh man. I have songs playing in my head right now when I read that. LA Angels under 10. All right, let's break it down a little further. Orioles are hitting 252, 715 OPS versus lefties. Yankees 271, 830 OPS versus righties. New York is on a 12-game winning streak against these Orioles. They lead the season series 13-2. Their last loss to the Orioles was on like March 29th or March 30th. During the season series, Yankees 52 home runs, 118 runs, 301 average, 1.028 OPS, 1 homer every 10.3 at-bats. They're just dominating. 16 home runs in Baltimore last week. 17 different players have hit home runs against the Orioles. These numbers are ridiculous. 10-2 in their last 12 games after Sunday's 1-0 win. Paxton 2-0 with a 2.13 ERA in his last 2 starts after posting a 5.68 ERA in his previous 5. 4-1 with a 3.38 ERA in 6 starts against Baltimore. The Orioles were outscored 58-16 during a 5-game losing streak that they stopped yesterday. Enoa 0-5 with a 6.45 ERA as a starting pitcher. Last start, he goes 4 2/3 against these Yankees, allows 4 runs. Red Girl says Jays under 11. That makes sense to me. Adis, my guy Adis, saying Yankees minus 2.5. Guru took the Orioles for a small bet on principle alone yesterday. I love that. Paxton 5-0 in first game of the series for Mr. Spectacular. Bookie Lover says skip Yankees game 1, waste of time. There's Viper NB in the house. I guess the under is appealing, but the market move going against us. Let's see what Pinnacle has done with this total. It opened at 10.5. So it opened up 10.5, and at 7:42 this morning, it moved up to 11. It opened up and then 11 at minus 100, and it got up to 11.5 an hour ago, and now back to 11. So yes, I agree with you that the under is appealing, but I don't want to go against the market move. Let's see what the first half total is. It's 6.5, so that hasn't changed. So I guess I would find the first half under a little more appealing. There's Ham Bone in the house. Carlos Peroj, 1 week away from the greatest meeting ever to take place, the Low Bag Summit of Champions in Miami. David Stan says Yanks own Baltimore. They should kill them after only scoring 1 run yesterday. Don Reed says Yankees are starting to look like they're happy just cruising the next 6 weeks. Tough to cap that. Reminds me of the NHL. I wouldn't lay big money, under or nothing. And Joe Anisi off this game won in New York. So all of the New York cappers that we have are uncomfortable here. I would have some appeal towards that first 5 under, but 9 miles per hour out to straightaway center. I don't like that. 7 runs in the first 5 is not easy. Dear Slayer C says, agree, Dom Ricci. All right, I'll just leave that as a lean at this point. I guess I do lean towards the first 5 under. Yankees traveling back from Toronto, which is a short flight, but then have a morning game. Mally Mouse says, check Paxton ERA in this new stadium. I don't have that in front of me. I do have his home ERA. But Yo says, Jimmy, my B-Day tomorrow. Need a good start to the week. Absolutely, Yo. Absolutely, Yo. And have an incredible day tomorrow if you're not with us hanging out tomorrow. I guess I do have a lean toward... Russell Gordy, are you going to take the full game under, or are you just leaning in that situation? It's interesting to see the full game going to the over, but not that first 5. You just got to get to this Orioles bullpen to eat. Walla Walla Doe says New York pen getting wrecked with injuries because they've all been overextended. Not good for the next few weeks. Rob Portwano, Yankees run line and Houston run line. Capping 24/7 on the Paxton K's over. Yeah, I find that first 5 under appealing. So we'll go back and talk about that. Dummy said, of course, the Yankees are going to get money in the over totals today. That's why the under is a good call. Yeah. But I still don't want the full game over. I still don't want to mess with the Orioles bullpen. I don't find Inoa that bad. But if he goes through another 4 2/3, allowing 4 runs, then... Ty Clinton said Baltimore party last night after beating the Astros. I expect Paxton to shut them down. But let's look at their team total under. First 5 team total under for the O's, 1.5. Under 1.5 of plus 120. Even that, I don't find that appealing. Okay, so I find that interesting. 7 runs is a lot to score in the first 5. I know the win is going to help. So I'm close to making a move there, but I'll just leave that as a lean. We're going to be able to get through all the games and then take a second look at them. Book of Q says the thing about Baltimore, they actually try. Under scary with Paxton. And Raul Porwando on the full game over 10.5. Nice grab there. Toronto under 11 and Houston under 9.5. We'll copy and paste that, Ralph. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. I do find that under appealing. And let's take another look at it. I think I'm going to make a move on it. Let's see what Pinnacle has done with this under. So the under 6.5 opened juiced at minus 109. It's now at minus 3. So it got up to plus 103. It got up to plus 103. But so in the last 25, 30 minutes, there's been a 6-cent move to the under 6.5. Tom Marino says, I don't see Paxton being as sharp today after a great start. I think Paxton needs this. Eric Jones says Yanks overs are done. AM saying Baltimore can hit when they want to. All right, I'm going to move forward on this. I'm going to take the first 5 under 6.5. Antoine Sanders said Yankees going to crank up to me. They win both games today. Antoine, it's not that I don't think that they'll win both games. It's just that it's tough to be in a doubleheader, especially after playing yesterday in Toronto. You fly back, you get home. Baltimore is going to be tired going over the Yankees. Both teams are going to show up at the ballpark a little tired. I'm going to take this first 5 under. Shadow says, I so wish I could join you all in Miami. Going to be down that whole week. Shadow, we have so much love for you. And there's going to be lots of opportunities for us to hang together. You are very inspiring, and we're going to have many, many opportunities. Don Reach said that Paxton's be good at home. Big reason why I like this under 12. Jim Rummy laughing, saying it's not 12. I mean, it's you can possibly get it at 11.5. I don't think it's available at 11.5 at any book right now, but I'm going to take this first 5 under 6.5. Let's see what I'm getting here. First 5 under 6.5 is minus 103. Bookmaker just moved it to minus 116, so Bookmaker getting hammered on this under. This is all nice signs to me, and I'm going to take it. Under 6.5 at minus 103. All right, let's roll. Let's roll on to this Red Sox Indians. Big game. Indians now tied. We have a plus 1,100 hanging there, a plus 1,100 sitting there. I wish I put more than 125 on it, but still, plus 1,100 sitting there. It's an official play on the show. Man, do I want these Indians to take care of business, and they are rolling right now. 71-47, 38-24, just took 3 of 4 in Minnesota. Red Sox 62-58, only 4 games over 500. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that the Red Sox have been so bad. Here we go. Full game, money lines and totals. Red Sox, Indians. Opened at 9.5, now at 10.5. It's gone up a full run. Remember, we had Aunt L last week. Aunt L telling us that Plesac's numbers give you a belief that regression is in the cards, and then he has another strong start. He is a tricky pitcher to figure out right now. Let's look at money lines here. The money line, Boston opens up at minus 109. They're now at minus 114, a 5-cent move towards Boston. Eric Jones says, Boston money line, let's go. Tomino says, I have Cleveland at plus 250 to win the division. Twins pitching is falling apart. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I need it bad. Because I'll put that. I'd like to have $1,000 for the Breeders' Cup, and I'll just put at least $1,000 of that right into my horse account if that goes through. Tomino said, I think the value's with Cleveland. Boston's the first good team to see Plesac twice, but Rodriguez is in bad form. He struggled in his last 3 starts. Cleveland has the much better bullpen. Hambone on no score in the first. Boston, Cleveland. Guru saying may put a small bet on the Mets to win it all. They're going to be a tough team to face if they make the playoffs. That's an interesting look. You're right. They are going to be a tough team. There's just no doubt about it. They're going to be a tough team. And Russell Gordy saying Boston wins, Baltimore under game 1. Well, I'm just going to take that first 5 under. 7 is a lot to get to. It's the Yankees, but feel pretty good about that. And if I don't see, just because they score 1 run yesterday doesn't mean to me that they're going to blow up offensively today. Red Sox hitting 279, 828 OPS versus righties. Plesac, 6-3, 3.13 ERA, 1.15 whip, 72 innings, 54 Ks, 27 walks, 11 home runs. Indians are hitting 250, 736 OPS versus lefties. Rodriguez, 13-5, 4.17 ERA, 1.34 whip, 140 in the third, 140 Ks, 53 walks, 20 home runs. Excuse me. So they win 3 of 4 against the Twins and look good. Red Sox, meanwhile, are done. 7.5 games back of the wild card, 16 games back in the AL East. Plesac made his major league debut in Boston earlier this season, just like what Tom Marino was saying. Indians, and he gave up 1 run on 4 hits, 1 walk in 5 1/3. Coming off one of his best starts, 6 shutout innings against the Rangers. As part of that doubleheader, he gave up just 5 hits, struck out 7. Red Sox lost their last 2 games in a 4-game set against the Angels. Barnes blew his 7th save of the year. The team is blowing 21 saves, and they burned through their bullpen. Cashner only goes an inning in 2/3. Rodriguez will face Cleveland for the first time this season. 1-0 with a 2.63 ERA, 2 previous starts. Top Set says good spot for Boston here. Anil Frank says I'm on that first 5 under as well. I think Paxton's in for a very good start. I like hearing that, Anil. Mr. Jocelyn says Indians confident after the Twins. Eric Jones like the Boston win. Mr. Jocelyn says on Cleveland. But Rodriguez struggled lately. Russell Gordy says Boston is a favorite for a reason. Torino saying the market's already pricing in regression. Cleveland is plus money today. We haven't seen regression with any of Cleveland's young pitchers. I like that. I agree with that. And Russell Gordy says letdown spot for Cleveland. And we know these letdown spots are real. We talked about it. And it was Bookie Lover Q saying that Braves, after they won that series against the Twins, they go into Miami. Bookie Lover Q says letdown spot 101, and the Marlins beat them 9-0. I tell you what, there's no way I make a bet on the Red Sox. I just see them as a team that's letting go, and the Indians know they need to win. But you're right. There's a reason why the Red Sox are the favorite. That was well put. And Shadow saying Heritage has Baltimore and New York full game under 11.5. Wow. That's a good look. Let me take a look at that right now. Yes, they do. Heritage has the under 11.5. So does Pinnacle. Pinnacle and bookmakers back up to 11.5. Wow. So those three books just all moved up to 11.5. Let's see if anything moved on the first half total. Yes, they did. Money's coming back in on the over 6.5. Bookmaker was minus 116 when I made the bet. They're now minus 112. And Pinnacle was minus 103. They're now plus 100. So money coming in on the over. Okay, Mr. Dawson says they've given up. Cater to you by our guy, Chef Jeff. And there's Jorge, don't play. Cater to you by Chef Jeff says Indians are the play. Tough. Tom Reno says the betting market doesn't believe in these young Cleveland pitchers. Lines have been wrong with them all year. Well, I'm not going to take the Red Sox, and I'm going to wait and look at market movement because I would like to back the Indians. Looking at Red Girl saying, I love Rodriguez, but Cleveland needs to keep winning. Seth Barry in the house. Seth Barry says, Enoa stronger against left-handed batters than right. Yankees with 5 in left, first 5 under, definitely in play. Seth Barry, I like that sharp take. I like it. Nice to see you. I don't remember that name. Seth Barry in the house. Welcome to Low Bag Fam. Okay, let's move on. I'm not going to make a move on the Indians right now. But if I do see a U-shaped movement back to the Indians, I will find them appealing. But I don't want anything to do with the Red Sox at all. Repula Gaming says Sox get public money. That is all. And Hambone liking for the under in Boston, Cleveland. And Steven Mendez says Cleveland needs to win, taking Cleveland. All right, let's move on to Reds at Nationals. This Reds team, 23-32 on the road, and the Nats, 31-25 at home, and finally stopped the Mets juggernaut yesterday. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Cincinnati, Washington. This is another total. It's gone up a full run. Every total on this card has gone up or stayed the same. There's not one total on this card. Oh, there is now. Sorry. The Houston White Sox total has gone down to 9, but Pinnacle still holding the 9.5, as is Intertops, Bet365, and William Hill. All right, Reds, Nationals. Oh, sorry, I didn't even break down the full stuff there. Reds, Nationals. Open at 9.5, now at 10.5. And wow, a big move towards the Reds. Wow. Washington opening up at minus 137. They're now at minus 104. A 33-cent move towards the Cincinnati Reds and Disclafani. Wow. Viper and Nats Nate saying Nats money line right above that. Red Girl saying Reds money line above that. Eric Jones saying Nats money line. Wow. Viper MB says, I have no other play except Indians money line. Torino says, I'd lean over in Nats Reds. Both these pitchers get hammered by lefties. 3 of Reds' first 5 hitters are lefties. Nats have good lefty bats too. Both bullpens are struggling. Torino said, Reds should match up well since Fedde can't pitch against lefties. Let's look at what the expected lineup is and how many lefties they expect in it. Winker, Votto, Van Meter. The problem with this is the Reds' hottest hitters are righties, Suarez and Aquino. And Russell Gordon says, hell no, Nats win. Wow. Hambone going no score in the first. Jorge, don't play, taking the Reds on the reverse run line. And Topsa says, no public money is driving Reds on a Monday morning. No public money is driving Reds on a Monday morning. It's a sharp bet, and I'm in Reds as well. You're right, Topset. Noseguard says Soto has ankle sprain, may not play. I do not expect him to play, even though they said it's mild in severity. Disclafani, 7-6, 4.20 ERA, 1.31 whip, 88 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour, out to left center. Repula Gaming like the Reds team total over. Jorge, don't play on Reds, minus 1.5, plus 145. Dom Reed says Nats smashed the Mets pitchers in every loss. Nats were not happy, getting very unlucky in New York. Nats will go on a roll now. Guru saying Soto out for sure. Jermel Wright like on the Reds solo over. Christopher Smith on Washington money line. Tom Marino saying Fedde off a great start, but he struggled to have consecutive good starts. And Mr. Jocelyn leaning toward the Reds. Okay, so Disclafani, we've done his numbers. Fedde 2-2, 4.20 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, 60 innings, 32 Ks, 25 walks, 8 homers. Reds are hitting 246, 748 OPS versus righties. Nats are hitting 250, 752 OPS versus righties. So we talked about Soto. He's probably out. He's likely out. He's reached base in 17 straight games. He's rolling. Rendon, 0-7 against Disclafani. Fedde rebounded after that 9-run performance against Atlanta on July 30th. Had a nice start against San Francisco on Monday. 4-0 at San Fran. 6 hits over 6 innings. No walks. Disclafani won his last start. Allowed 2 home runs, 5 1/3, and 8-4 victory over LA. He's 2-0 with a 2.17 ERA and 7 career appearances against Washington. Suarez is homered in 3 straight, and Aquino is absolutely smashing the ball, 14 for 25 with 7 homers over his last 8 games, 8-game hitting streak. Tormino says every time the Nats look great, something bad happens, like Scherzer getting hurt or bullpen starting to blow up. Topset says Scouts likes Disclafani. I'm not going to make a move on either side here after a 30-cent move. First, I'm not going to take the Reds after that move when I should have got on it earlier. And I'm not going to take the Nationals when there's been a 30-cent move against them. I'm not going to take the over or the under when the over's gone up a full run. So I'm not going to take the ass end of the over line. And I'm not going to take the under when it's going to run against it. This is a situation where the market, I'm just too late on the market. Let's see what time this move happened on the money line. So here at Pinnacle, the Reds open at plus 115. In 2 minutes, this is yesterday, in 2 minutes, it was plus 107. 1 minute after that, it was minus 100. So in 3 minutes, there was a 15-cent move. That's unbelievable. So I guess I don't need to feel that bad. 3 minutes, the Sharps were waiting and they pounced. Those are the guys that are succeeding in capping betting baseball. It's those guys waiting for the line to be announced and pouncing. And then you look at the way I'm doing it, capping all these games so that I'm able to break them down for you guys on a show, not capitalizing as soon as the market comes out and sitting with this mediocrity all year. I mean, it's better than I did last year, but that's who's making money off baseball is the scout that rolls with Elio, who's waiting for that line to come out and pouncing. Shell Dog says just pass and move on. Let's do it. Rangers at Blue Jays. Rangers at Blue Jays. Let's talk Gerardo versus Ramirez. The Rangers open up as minus 105, so it opens up as a pick'em. There's been a 10-cent move towards Ramirez and the Toronto Blue Jays. This total opens up at 10.5. It's now at 11. Let's break this down. Kyle Jack in the house. Kyle Jack, it's almost your time of year, baby. Can't wait to hear your college football takes, my guy. Okay. And Bookie Love Q says, if Rodney pitches, I'm definitely on the Reds. I can't believe, I don't understand why a team in a pennant chase would pick up Rodney. I know that he's a good guy in the clubhouse. You know, people like being around him. He's an old vet. I get that part. But you have to pitch him. Guy's not just going to do the laundry. And we just saw what he's been doing. Teams just get rid of him. For the Nats to pick him up, I would rather take a risk on a youngster than bring up a guy you know that's going to get touched. Seth Berry says over 10 probably in DC. Both offenses crushing. Reds power. Cincinnati 382 WOBA, 240 ISO versus right-handed pitchers the last 2 weeks. And Deer Slayer Ski says Rangers Jays stay away game. Mally Mal says Texas. And Dom Ricci says I bet early I'd lose. I understand that, Dom, and you're a capper that uses your eye test a lot because you watch these games, you study these games. And so for NHL, for me, I can understand breaking down games and finding the angles, but there's some games that the angles are taken away from you because they're abused by other handicappers, and that's a situation that happens here. And Dom, I cannot wait to be sitting beside you in Miami when you get in. Will you get in like Tuesday midnight? Man, I cannot wait. And Jin Remy says eye test clearly overrated. You know, the enjoyable thing and what makes this show why we should succeed is we have cappers that do all sorts of different things and have all sorts of different styles of capping. And the only way to show that your style is a success is by plus units. And I get it, Jin Rummy. And I love the way you cap as well. Okay, let's get to work. Rangers, Blue Jays, Gerardo, 6-7, 4.74 ERA, 1.38 whip, 93 innings, 69 Ks, 29 walks, 13 home runs. Jays are 20-20 in their last 40. The Jays believe in themselves. Neil Ramirez, now a Toronto Blue Jay. Neil Ramirez picked up off the Cleveland Indians in the show this year. He's 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA, 1.62 whip, 16 2/3, 18 Ks, 9 walks, 5 home runs. In AAA Columbus this year, he is 2-1 with a 4.91 ERA, a 1.33 whip, 29 1/3, 45 Ks, 11 walks, 7 home runs. For some reason, I thought those numbers were a little better than that when I wrote them down this morning. Tomorino says eye test can create recency bias. Oh, you're absolutely right, Tomor. Oh, the eye test, recency bias, vividness bias. Oh, the eye test can be bereft with problems. Huge, huge problems. Joe Anisi says, man, I've been plus units in all baseball, all big boss contests. Joe Anisi, I've been watching. I know that you have been. And there's my guy, An American now says, speaking of plus units, 5-1 on UFC picks. Macedo got it done inside the distance of plus 400. And America, I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. I had to focus on horses all that day, and I was angry with the results, so went on a bit of a bender. Okay. So, both these teams coming off 1-0 games. Rangers won theirs. Jays lost theirs. Rangers are 2-4 on a road trip that ends with this series in Toronto. 2-4 on the road trip. Listen to this stat. Rangers have had four hits in their win at Milwaukee. So, they've had 6 consecutive games with 6 or fewer hits. That's the longest streak for the Rangers since 1972. Since 1972. That's how quiet this Texas Rangers offense is. Gerardo coming off a strong start. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. The Blue Jays are 23 games below 500, but are playing much better. Bichette's now gone hitless in 2 games. Bookie Lover Q says, I like Texas when I thought Godley was pitching for the Jays. It's Ramirez. Yes, it's Ramirez. Let me double check that. Yes, it's Ramirez. I don't know what to do with Ramirez. But the Rangers offense is so cold that I lean towards the Blue Jays here. Christopher Smith says, taking Toronto. Chad Cannon says, Ramirez are usually a high strikeout guy, but is not being consistent this year. Yeah, he's a 30-year-old journeyman. Guru says, recency bias is good at times. When the guy's on a huge slump, his yearly numbers aren't going to show it. You're right. You're right. I think that's a difficult thing to do, Guru, is to find a spot where it helps. Recency bias helps. I think that's a trickier thing to do because I more feel it hurt me. And the vividness, but I find those hurt me very much. That's why I was talking to you guys all about the book by Michael Lewis, The Undoing Project, which is absolutely spectacular and has helped me in capping more than any book I've ever read, and it's not even a capping book. The Undoing Project is spectacular. I think you guys should all read it. It really, really, really incredible book. Mr. Jocelyn leans Jays first 5. Jays bullpen's been fine. I think the Jays are locked in right now. I think the Jays are, Book 11 Q says, I'm like you. Yeah, I find the biases are so, I think that the cappers who focus only on numbers, and that's why when you see cappers who just are advantage gamblers with just market advantages, they do better than everybody else because they're not even letting the action get in their head. There's Alex Ramirez in the house. Viper MB says Jays don't hit righties. 231, 723 OPS versus righties. I think that we can put a line through a lot of their season-long numbers. I think the numbers are going to get better. I feel like the Jays are rolling. Gerardo coming off that great start. Dom Regis says, eye test can definitely work both ways. I have a knack of catching teams that go on runs. Good and bad, probably the best part of my capping. I definitely bet way more totals than teams. I think the Jays feel very good about themselves. And here we have this Rangers team that's flying up from Milwaukee. The Jays stay at home after a very intense, exciting series against the Yankees. Is it a letdown spot, though? Is it a letdown spot after facing the Yankees when the Rangers come to town? We do have a history of a rivalry with the Rangers, but those were completely different players. Completely different players. Kyle Jack says, I will be dropping my Mac breakdown at the end of the week. Oh, Kyle Jack. Joseph Gomez says, Earl Grey tea today, minus 125 on Fireball. What's in Jimmy's Earl Grey tea today? Minus 25 on Fireball. No, man, no. It's Monday morning. You think I'm going to start drinking? Okay. And Guru says, here's a great example of recency bias with the Jays. Well, they're 20-20 over the last 40. A team that's 23 games under 500. But I hear what you're saying, Guru. And Sheldog saying, Rugned Odor. I have a lean towards the Jays. I think the Jays keep rolling. Russell Gordy says, letdown spot for Jays in Cleveland. And that would be the concern. Now, there's going to be, 8,000 people at the game today? But Christopher Smith says Toronto it is today. I'm just going to leave it as a lean to the Jays. And let's keep rolling. I've got to speed this up a bit. Astros, White Sox, 77 Fahrenheit, rain 9 miles per hour in. The rain is going to be a problem. Greinke going up against Cease. If there was no rain, I would immediately back the White Sox first 5. I think there's just enormous amounts of value. Enormous amounts of value. Do we have a pitching change in New York? Oh, no, that's the second game. Sorry, what am I talking about? Sorry, I freaked out. Okay, we do have the expected pitchers in that second game in Baltimore, New York. Okay, sorry. Is the rain still a problem in Chicago? It is. I love the way Cease pitched that last game. I watched it. If you guys were watching it, there was 3 errors in the first inning and he didn't allow a run. He's pitching very good. There's an enormous sweet, Dom, thank you. Answered the message I left. Okay, sweet. Tomino says, I don't think it's a bounce back spot for Greinke. He struggled against Colorado team and seen him a lot. White Sox have not seen him much. Oh, I think it is a bounce back spot. Excuse me. Says, I don't see Cease holding up. Guru says, Astros going to tee off on Cease. I loved Cease's start last. I loved it. And if I'm going to sit here and get a money line on the first 5, that's what? Plus 215. Now, money's coming in on the Astros, which we expect. Let's go to full game money lines and totals in this Astros spot. Astros open up at minus 235. They're now minus 275, a 40-cent move towards them. This total was juiced to the under, and it's now slightly juiced to the over, so a 10-cent move to the over. Red Girl says Houston first 5 is high, but will cash. I'm going to back. The rain is a big problem. I need to get a better idea of how bad it's going to be if they're expecting to cancel the game. I almost don't want to spend too much time on this, but I tell you what, I'll take Cease in the White Sox plus a half. Also, if this money line is going to keep going, if I'm going to not do it now, because if money's going to keep hammering Houston, but I'm going to take Cease at plus 155 plus a half, first 5. Absolutely I am. Russell Gordy says Zach, first 5 is cash money. I do not trust Greinke with this move. Now, I did go over the quotes and I erased them because they don't tell the whole story. Yeah, he said he was bored in the clubhouse. He was bored and stuff like that. But then he did talk about how this offense is capable of getting 10 runs a game like the Brewers back when he pitched for Milwaukee. So, he's doing fine. Mal says Zach do win first 5 heavily. I like Tormino says Cease has faced very weak lineups for the most part. I think he gets hit here. What I saw from Cease last start was the best, like a Giolito type performance. Houston comes a guaranteed rate field, winning 8 of 9 after that big upset yesterday. Greinke retires the first 8 Rockies. He says he struggles sometimes when he has to sit and wait because he's bored, because he's not watching the game, because he doesn't care who wins. Greinke doesn't care. Greinke's 8-10 with 3.98 ERA against the White Sox, but that was all when he was with the Royals early in his career. Who cares about that? Greinke set to make 28th appearance, 25th start against the White Sox. Who cares? Chicago's won 6 of 10 despite being shut out twice by the A's. Tim Anderson's on a 9-game hitting streak. Look, I'm going to take the White Sox first 5, but if money's going to keep rolling in on the Astros, I'm going to wait. I'm going to take the first 5 plus a half, but I'll wait. And I hope more and more and more money comes in on the Astros because I'm not going to make a move. Russell Gordy says Houston and Dodgers full game. You can bet that till October. I get it. Antoine Seamer said, how many in the chat cashed out Baltimore plus money last night? I did not. And Yellow Jesus says, you love all White Sox pitchers. He knows me very well. Hey, how good does Ronaldo Lopez look, though, Yellow Jesus? He's looked spectacular. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny, Yellow Jesus. Man, you caught me. You caught me. Okay, so let's keep rolling. Oh, that's so funny. Tormios lefties are hitting 320 against Cease. I don't think he's good. I think that he's going to be better and better as the season ends. Let's see how many lefties we have. Brantley, Alvarez, Gredick. Look at the big bats in this Astros lineup. Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, Gurriel. They're all righties. Okay. And Guru says, Oakland is my team. I've been reading them like a book. You have been. Well, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling along right now. Oh, Yellow Jesus, that's so funny, man. Did you ever catch me there? Diamondbacks at Rockies. Let's break this down. Let's go to full game spreads and totals. And I'm telling you, I will, for better or for worse, it's Ryan Goings, Chad. Ken, it's Ryan Goings. If you know I love him, it's Ryan Goings. Okay, Cheryl says you can't get with your heart. Listen, who do I care about the White Sox? I do not care about the White Sox. It turns out that I do believe heavily in Giolito and Lopez, and I'm starting to believe in Cease. Okay, let's get back to work. And much love to you, Cheryl. Love having you in the chat. Red Girl says I write books and you never read them. Come on. Okay, let's keep rolling. Russell Gordy says under in Coors. We've seen this total go from 13.5 to 14. Man, that's high. Full game, money lines, and totals. Arizona opens at 13.5 now, 14. The Colorado Rockies open as favorites at minus 125. They're now at minus 109. A 16-cent move towards these Arizona Diamondbacks that are playing pretty good. 5-4 since the Greinke trade, 59-59, 32-31 on the road. And this Rockies team is trash, and they shouldn't be as bad. When you look at their lineup, they shouldn't be this bad. 88 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour towards left center. Merrill Kelly. We talked about these guys coming from Asia, that the second half of the season is a struggle for them. They're just not used to 162-game seasons. Merrill Kelly, 7-12, 4.52 ERA, 1.29 whip, 131 in the third, 104 Ks, 104 Ks, and 131 in the third, 34 walks, 22 home runs. Lambert looks awful, but it's tough pitching at Coors. But even when he's not been at Coors, he's looked bad. Lambert, 2-3, 6.87 ERA, 1.58 whip, 55 innings, 41 K, 16 walks, 13 home runs. Diamondbacks hitting 249, 746 OPS versus righties. Rockies hitting 266, 772 OPS versus righties. Diamondbacks 3 games out of the second wildcard spot. Kelly's lost 6 straight, 0-2 with a 6.39 ERA. In 2 career starts against the Rockies. Last time he faced them, allowed 6 runs, 5 earned, 6 innings. Since June, Rockies are 13-31. Their starting pitchers have a combined ERA of 7. Lambert won his first 2 starts, but has gone winless in his last 10, all Rockies losses. Lambert only made it through 3 innings in the last start. You know, I like that look, Russell. I know these pitchers are terrible, but the offenses aren't hitting that hard. And the Diamondbacks offense is great against lefties, but sort of lackluster against righties. Oh, Yellow Jesus, don't forget about your boy Covey. You're right. Covey's cost me so much money, man. Covey's cost me so much money. Guru says, Giolito, 13 Ks yesterday. Dude looked good. Made 2 bad pitches. Brooke Jordan also on this full game under. And Top Set says, Jimmy Scout likes Reds first 5, not full game. Wow. That makes so much sense to me. What's gone to money? Let's just look at that money line, see how big of that move's gone. Wow, that hasn't been a big move. Reds first 5, open to minus 105. Wow, so we haven't got hurt there. Pinnacle opened up at minus 108. It's now minus 113. That's a market move that hasn't been destroyed. You know what? And Mouse and Kelly was looking good at one point. You know, Top Set, now we have the angle. Now we have the angle where the market hasn't pummeled it. Fedde could get touched. Disclafani pitching well. Fedde coming off that beautiful start. Wow, okay, I'm just going to leave that as a lean at this point. But that's a nice look that your boy's on, Elio. Why wouldn't you back the Reds first 5? I mean, here we go. Here's a situation where the market hasn't destroyed it. I mean, there's been a 10-cent move at Bet Online. I like it. I like it a lot, Elio. Thank you. I like it. I think I think they can get to Fedde, and DeSclafani's pitching well. So we're going to have no Soto, and Rondon's 0 for 7 against DeSclafani. That makes a ton of sense to me. And Randy Lockhart giving us DeSclafani's numbers versus Washington. Yeah. Von Polo says, how can you take another at Coors Field? I'm not going to, but I can understand it. Look, I'm going to jump in. Thank you, Elio. I'm going to take the Reds first 5. I'm getting a minus 105 at Bookmaker. Minus 107 at 5 dimes. Reds first 5. Minus 105. That's great. What's Jim Remy saying? Oh, Dodgers. Okay. Okay, so Reds first 5, minus 105. Okay, that's great. I have a lean to the Blue Jays. I'm not going to make that move yet. I'm going to take the White Sox first 5 plus half at some point, but not yet. Okay, so let's talk about this a little more. This Lambert Kelly spot, if you could pick which starter do you think has a better chance of having a nice start, I would probably say Merrill Kelly. But why would we pick between two pitchers that are just so bad right now? I don't understand why. There's no need for me to sit here and figure out what to do with Coors Field. With the volatility skyrocketing, there's just no need for me to do that at this point, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to sit here and give you an angle that I believe in with these two shit pitchers, one average baseball team, one shit baseball team that's given up. The team that's given up has a better lineup. I'm not going to do that here. Okay. And Tom Marino says, I'd lean Reds. I think best value is Reds first 5 team total over. Okay, let's move on to Pirates at Angels. Pirates at Angels. Let's look at market moves, money lines, and totals. We only have one game left after this, and then I want to take a quick look at all those games one more time. Pittsburgh Angels open at 10, juice to the over at minus 115. It's now a pick 'em at minus 110 each side, so a 5-cent move towards the under. Angels open up at minus 155. They're now at minus 143, a 12-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 4-24 since the All-Star break. 76 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour, 2 straightaway center. Did something change in the Pirates last game? Bell hit 2 home runs. He had gone on a 26-game homerless streak. I don't know. And Jin Rummy says Reds at plus 115 or nothing. And we saw that's what the books did on the full game, or the sharpest cappers did on the full game. All right, Joe Anisi hit the over 9.5 Pirates Angels last night. If you wanted that now, that's a 10. Wow, nice job. Nice job. Let's see, did Pinnacle ever have that? Yes, it had it at 9.5 at for 2 minutes. No, sorry, what am I talking about? Sorry, it moved at 4:34. It was at 9.5 until 6:13 this morning. Great job. Great job, Joe. Great work. Carlos Pro says, when will the Pirates ever win again? Torment says, Pittsburgh lineup isn't bad, but they always find ways to lose. I'm leading Pirates team total over 4.5. And Deerslayer Ski saying Ant is on the Angels. Interesting. Keller, 0-1, 10.50 ERA, 2.25 whip, just 12 innings, 15 Ks, 6 walks. In AAA Indianapolis, so this is where I got it confused. I was thinking that it was Ramirez had nice numbers in AAA. He doesn't. It's our boy here, Keller, Mitch Keller, 23-year-old Mitch Keller, who used to watch, I believe it's Cedar Rapids. He watched Mike Trout when Mike Trout was in single A Cedar Rapids. Russell Gordy says under an Angels, both teams flying from the East. Jin Rummy, what do you think about the first 5, though, that hasn't had as much movement? Do you find that, what do you, how do you, I know there's been that giant market move on the full game, but with no market move on the first 5, or a small market move at this point, I'm sure the market move is coming. Be curious to hear what you think about that. Okay, let's roll. Mally Mouse says caution with Pittsburgh, though. They've lost 8 straight games. They're playing bad baseball. But Mitch Keller's numbers in AAA Indianapolis, 7-5, 3.56 ERA, 1.24 whip, through 103 2/3, 123 Ks, 35 walks, 9 home runs. Suarez, 2-3, 6.22 ERA, 1.60 whip, 46 1/3. He gets strikeouts. But I guess that's the only good thing you could say about him. 46 Ks and 46 1/3. Top set on the Angels second half. There's D money in the house. Ricky Levine says Pitt always lose the first game back off of a long road trip. Ricky Bobby says Angels team total over. And Chad Cannon saying Pittsburgh 10-18 versus lefties, even though Suarez sucks. Mally Mal says Keller sounds ready. I liked everything I heard from Keller. But Nutflush Allen also on the team total over on the Angels. And I guess that's just trying to isolate the bullpen. That's where, you're going to get it. If the Angels first five is 2.5 minus 132. But the Angels full game here. Angels full game is 5.5 at plus 112. 5.5 at plus 112. There's Mississippi Kid in the house. Thank you so much for joining us at the ATP Cincinnati like in Busta, minus 150. Thank you for sharing that. DMX93 saying no score in first inning of the Colorado game, plus 198. Oh, that's dangerous. That's so dangerous. So dangerous, but big plus lines are exciting. It's going to be one wildly intense first inning for you. Keller roughed up for 6 runs in each of his first 2 starts, but I think he's better than that, and I think he's a guy who's going to end up in this rotation moving forward. Mally Mal saying the plus money is bait. Yeah. LA won back-to-back against the Red Sox after losing 8 straight, so they could get on some sort of a streak here. Just their 4th win in 16 games, completed a 2-7 road trip. I see the Bucks as the play here. I think that the Angels have to be tired. Christopher Smith says team total over Pittsburgh. How are the Angels not tired after that long trip coming back? Let's take a quick look at what happened yesterday. Pittsburgh lost 11-9, right? Pittsburgh lost 11-9 at St. Louis, and then they have to fly all the way over. Then they have to fly all the way over to LA. I think both teams are sort of tired here. Thomas says Suarez isn't a minus 140 pitcher against anyone. Guru says Suarez is bad. Angels starting to hit a bit, but I think they win. I doubt. I think they win, but I doubt I'll bet Suarez at this number. Mally Mal, Pitt money in the under. Randy Lockhart, Bucks money line. I like that, Randy. I like your look at Pittsburgh. Oh, it's a lean at this point. Thomas said it looks like the market's overreacting to Pittsburgh's recent record. I guess I'll just leave it as a lean right now. Okay, let's move on to the final game on the card. Melvin Betances liking the over 10.5 in Pittsburgh, LA. Chad Cannon saying Pittsburgh 10-4 in interleague games this year. James H. saying fade Pittsburgh. Let's move on to Rays at Padres. Rays at Padres. It's a day of a bullpen day for the Rays. The Rays are rolling. Second time they've ever been to Petco Park in the history of their franchise. All right, Rays come to San Diego off a 3-game sweep of the Mariners, Seattle. They've won 12 of 15. They won 6 straight road games. They beat the Padres 7 straight times. But the reason why I want to back the Padres first 5 here, and let's talk about market moves and stuff like that, it's because Diego Castillo starts 2-6, 3.50 ERA, 1.35 whip. But then they immediately go to Austin Pruitt, who's trash. 1-0, 5.16 ERA, 1.41 whip, 22 2/3, 17 Ks, 8 walks, 3 home runs. Tormina says Lucchese's in good form and he's been great at home. I'd lean Padres and lean under. I like the Padres here. Mally Mal saying the Rays, but I certainly wouldn't take the Padres full game. I don't trust this bullpen whatsoever. Let's see what we're getting market move-wise in this game. Total opens up at 8.5. It's now at 8. And there's been a move towards the Rays, which I understand. But I doubt that there's been a first-half money line move towards the Rays. The first-half move has gone towards the Padres. That is what I expect. But at minus 140, I think that's just too much. I don't think that's worth paying for. Jim Rami saying Desclafani has better advanced numbers than Fetty. Fetty should eventually get touched into the near future. First 5 also dropped from minus 108 to minus 116. The advantage is clearly starting pitching and bullpen for the Reds. If you take first 5, you cut your advantage into half. That's a nice breakdown, Jin. That's a nice breakdown. Court Wiley says, any value on Baltimore this morning? I don't know, Court. I did take the first 5 under 6.5, but do you think they keep rolling here, or do you think that they partied like they won the World Series last night? It's a tricky spot, but I did take the first 5 under 6.5. Tom Marino says, true, Jin, but Desclafani can get hammered anytime. You can't make money long-term betting him as a favorite, and Reds bullpen is struggling. Russell Gordy says, love Rays. ESPN called them Road Warriors last night. Okay, let's break down this more. Okay, I'd like the Padres first 5, but I'm not going to take them at minus 140. That's crazy. That's nuts. That makes no sense against a team that's 38-22 on the road, regardless of how bad their bullpen opening is. Rays are hitting 255, 747, OPS versus lefties. I'm going to leave that a lean. I mean, I can't take that. I just can't take that. Jim says, I don't have much else to tell you. I like that breakdown. That was great. I loved it, Jim. Thank you for it. Chad Cannon saying Tampa Bay on the road this year, 25-18 for his left-handed pitching. Padres are hitting 244, 737 OPS versus righties. Padres have no heart. Just playing bad baseball. They just took 3 or 4 from Colorado. Could have swept them. Bullpen gave up 6 runs in 4 innings. Denied them of the sweep. Padres 10-17 since the All-Star break. Christopher Smith says, who's pitching in Tampa? It starts with Castillo, and then it goes to Pruitt. Let me just make sure that that's the case on RotoWire as well. Yes, starts with Diego Castillo, and then it goes to Austin Pruitt. Mally Mouse says, Rays were bad in Seattle. And then saying Seattle having a bad year, though. Torino says, Tampa hasn't seen Luke Casey much, and they don't have power against lefties. Look, I just think minus 140 is just too much. I would have to take him on the minus a half, and that's just... I don't think that makes sense at this point. I would love to do it, but the market knows it. I just don't think that makes sense at this point. We can sit on it, watch the market moves in the afternoon, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Also, Luke Casey, one thing that does concern me a tiny bit is Andy Green's challenged him to pitch deeper into games, and I hope that doesn't mean he takes a little off at times. He went 5 1/3 last out against the Mariners. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk, 1 homer. At home, as Torino was saying, 6-2, 2.71 ERA. Opponents are hitting 186 against him. He's been very, very good. Torino says bet online at San Diego at minus 128. Full game, because first 5 they have minus 140. Yes, you're right. Minus 129 I have here. Yeah, I get it, but I do not want the Padres full game. I think that their bullpen is terrible. Just terrible. There's Prince of the City. Says, good luck to everyone. Time to go drink at the Jersey Shore. Warming up for Miami. All Prince of the City. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And Jim Remy says, taking recent numbers only is indeed an eye test and biased. It's very sharp stuff. God, I love, we have so many different styles of cappers in the chat, and it's working for our advantage. Chad Kansas Heritage is plus 121 on Tampa Bay full game. I'm not going to do that either. I think there's too big an advantage. Castillo Pruitt up against Luke Casey is too big an advantage. It's Padres first 5 or nothing for me in this game at this point. So no move there. And Russell Gordy says West Coast dog, Rays. I get it. All right, let's quickly go over each game and what moves we're going to make. And Randy Lockhart giving us a bullpen ERA, 4.70, 21-30. Not good. Not good. Okay, so I'm on the first 5 under 6.5 at minus 103 in the Orioles-Yankees game 1. We will cap game 2 on the late show, but we do know the pitchers now. Red Sox-Indians, I'm staying off at this point. I'd like to make a move on the Indians, but as I believe it was Russell who said, there's a reason why Red Sox are favored, and that makes me a little uncomfortable. D-Money says, Jimmy, off work in like 4 hours and vacation for 5 days, going to Padres game tomorrow, Wednesday. Oh, D-Money, do it up. Do it up. Have a great, great week of vacation, and see if you can check in with us because, man, we'd love to hear your reads there. I love it. And Jin Remy took the Reds at plus 115. Yeah, I mean, when you beat the market like that, you got to feel good even to lose. I get it. And DJ, big boss in the house. And Tormino saying Reds first 5 is better value than full game. At this point, definitely. But at plus 115, I understand why Jin jumped. And he looks like a very shrewd move at this point. Okay, I'm on the first 5 under 6.5, Orioles at Yankees. Then I'm on the first 5 of the Reds at minus 105. I have a lean towards the Jays, but I think that my eye test is getting in the way. I think there's a vividness issue there. Then I'm going to take that first 5 plus a half on the White Sox. I'm going to do it, but if all the money keeps coming in on the Astros, I'm just going to wait patiently. Then I'm off with Diamondbacks, Rockies. I have a lean towards the Pirates, but I don't think that's worth it. But the plus line's kind of nice. Talk about that more on the late show. And I definitely have a lean towards Padres first 5, but I'm not going to take the shit ball club when they're minus 140 on the first 5. Lanil says Tampa Bay clown San Diego with a relief pitcher. I'll bet 10 runs by halftime. Wow. Wow, Lanil, that's wild. That's wild. Okay, so I'm only on, at this point, we have 9 games, and we do very well in these situations historically, and I want to keep that going. I'm on the first 5 under 6.5 of -103 in game 1 of the Orioles. I hope I come back here, and I'm in the black. Then I'm on the Reds first 5 at -105. And that's it right now. Those are my only 2 plays that I'm locking in, but I will lock in more plays as we keep an eye on the market and make decisions into the afternoon. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's exciting to start a new week, and next week, this show will be in Miami. Coco Bongo saying, I'm not scared of that Boston line. Cleveland plus 106 money line is my only play today. I like it. I like it, Coco Bongo. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I personally am 6 days away from flying to Miami, and I couldn't be more excited. And I love these small cards when we can take our time and deep dive into each and every one of these games. Hopefully I come up, and hopefully I come back from this afternoon and I'm in the cash and the money. But other than that, let's get a big week started in the black, in profit, on behalf of myself and Rafa in the booth. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leche, hey, those bookmakers!